First up, what is an agency? I am assigned to an agency, a talent agency that is. And what a talent agency does, they do a multitude of things. They, one, manage you as a creator. Two, they bring brand deals in for you. So agencies will have connections to companies, partnership managers of companies, and they will negotiate deals and they will bring the deals to the creators that are assigned to their agency. So that is another one. Three, they manage your emails and incoming sponsorships. So this is not just sponsors that they bring you through their connections, but if companies, they find your business email and they reach out to you, they email you, your talent manager will take care of that. They will respond to the emails, they will negotiate brand deals for you, they will negotiate a rate. Many times when you're doing brand deals, you will have to hop onto a call with the company to discuss things. Either you're negotiating a rate on the call, you are talking about what is gonna happen, basically like talking about the gist of the brand deal, the campaign, whatever. Your talent agency will do that for you. So you don't have to do it. All they do is they get off the call, they tell you, hey man, you have this brand deal that came in. What rate are you comfortable with? And then they will go like negotiate it for you. They also will handle any sort of payment, invoicing, any of that. So when a brand deal happens, right? They will have to pay you. A lot of times there's some sort of invoicing system that's gonna have to happen. You'll have to invoice them and then they will pay you. Sometimes they make you join a portal and you have to do this like weird third-party portal to join in, and then they pay you through the portal. Anyways, the agency will do all of that. So all you do is tell them how much you want for this deal, and then you make the video because they can't do that for you. You gotta do that. And then you get paid. That's it. So that's generally the gist of what agencies do. They take a cut out of every single brand deal that you are brought. That is how they get paid. So you don't pay them a salary. You don't pay them anything. They just take out of a percentage out of your every deal that you do. They'll just take a cut of it, and that's just kind of how it works. So they do serve as like a middleman to manage your brand deals. Somebody asked on my TikTok, what is the difference between a talent agency and an esports org? There's some big differences. Here, I can do this. Let me do the scuffed version, MS Paint, okay? What's the difference between a talent agency and an esports org? Okay, two things, or let's say many things, okay? One, an org will pay you. When you're signed to an org, you are a content creator for that org. The org will pay you a salary, or they should. Some orgs do not. That is no bueno. Unless they're like a super small org and they have no budget, happens. Most of the time, the esports org should pay you. So you get paid a salary for content creating for them. The talent agency, they take a chunk of your money. They'll take a percentage of your brand deals. So the first difference is the org pays you a salary every single month. Talent agency takes a percentage of your brand deals, okay? For an esports org, you are a content creator for them. You are creating content for them. They pay you to create content. The talent agency doesn't, obviously you need to be creating content, but they don't really dictate what content you create. So typically with orgs, you have like a minimum amount of content you need to create. You need to create a certain amount of content per month. Typically there's like a streaming requirement or a posting requirement per month. You need to meet that. If you don't meet that, then you're gonna get in trouble with the org, unless you guys negotiated that, whatever. But if you stop creating content, that is signed to be dropped from the org. Generally the same thing would happen with a talent agency. If you no longer do brand deals, then the talent agency has no need for it. But there is technically no content requirement. Talent agencies serve basically as your manager. They manage you and your brand deals that come in. So it was what I talked about previously. They will negotiate for you. They will present you the deals. They will negotiate the deals for you. They will take the money for it. They take a percentage. So like typically 20% is standard. So they'll take like 20%, and then then they will pay you the 80%. So they do all of that management for your sponsorships. An org actually does do the same thing, kind of. Esports org also does manage you, but it's a little bit different. So the talent agency manages your sponsorship, but everything is under you. It is your sponsorship. You make the videos, and it's about your brand at the end of the day. Esports orgs will do that, but you will also have to do brand activations for the org. They again will negotiate the brand deals. They will bring brand deals to you for things that you will have to do. This might get a little bit iffy, but from what I know, you actually don't get paid for that. So if the esports org brings you a brand deal and they tell you to do this brand deal, you must do it. You don't get paid because that is part of your monthly salary. So it is part of your monthly salary already, right? You get paid a monthly salary, but the caveat is then the brand deals you have to do for the org, you don't get paid for that. So let me give you an example of this, right? Many esports orgs already have sponsors. Team Liquid has a buttload of sponsors, okay? Team Liquid is sponsored by Monster, Alienware, SAP, Honda, Twitch, Secret Labs, HyperX, Coinbase, Thorn, Verizon, Fury, IMC, whatever, right? Team Liquid has all these sponsors. If you are assigned to Team Liquid as a content creator, you need to promote all of this too. I don't know who this is. I just randomly found them because they're a Team Liquid content creator. Look at their banner. If you're signed to an org, they will force you to do this. They will force you to use the banner they give you with all of their sponsors on it. You don't get paid for using this banner. Like, well, they don't pay you on top of it, right? Any of this? Do they? Oh, they have a YouTube. Okay, they have to do this. They have to put the sponsors on their YouTube as well, on their Twitch. Okay, this person's also a Twitch streamer. Let me look in their panels. They're gonna all be obligated to do this too. All right, see, look at their panels too. They have Verizon, they have SAP, they have Monster. They have to put all of this. It is a requirement, right? Okay, so the thing is, again, right? The content creators for the esports orgs, they get paid a monthly salary. So this is part of their salary. Like they must promote all of these brands that sponsor the org, but they don't get paid for putting these panels on here directly. So it's not like, hey, so for each panel, we're gonna pay you $200 a month just to like have it in your panels to promote the brand. It's not like through that. It is just part of your salary. You must do this. It's included in your salary. Another thing too, like many times they will have brand activations, brand deals. Yeah, so it is included in their salary. So the one difference is like, I'm trying to explain this, I feel like I'm not explaining this portion very well, but with a talent agency, when each deal comes through, you get paid for each individual deal through the talent agency. For each sponsorship, each deal, you'll get paid for it. Whereas if you're signed to a talent agency, if you're signed to an esports org, everything is included in your salary. So like many times, if the esports org has to do a partnership, like again, Team Liquid is sponsored by Honda, right? If they do a Honda sponsorship, they will tell all of their content creators, hey, retweet this, or tweet about Honda. Like, I don't know, Honda released a new car, whatever. Tweet about their car. Like, they'll give you a post and you must tweet about it. If you were signed to a talent agency and that was like, and Honda reached out to the talent agency being like, we want to sponsor Caliente for Honda, right? Then I'll be like, okay, if you want me to make a tweet for you, it's $150 per tweet, whatever. And then you gotta pay me and then I'll make the tweet. If you're signed to an esports org, they'll be like, yo, Honda's our partner, you gotta tweet about this, make this tweet. And you don't get paid for that one tweet. It is just part of your salary that anytime some deal comes out for a Team Liquid sponsor, you must do it. So many times they will bring in the creators too. They're like, hey, we have this new like game show we're gonna stream and we're gonna fly all of you guys in and you guys are gonna do this game show for us. From what I know, you don't get paid on top of that either. It is part of your contract. You just must do it. But again, you get paid a monthly salary, so that is like the trade-off, right? So if you're part of a talent agency, you get paid through every single brand deal. If you're part of a esports org, then you get paid a monthly salary, so it's more stable. But overall, the overall sum of the activations may be more than what you're actually getting paid on a monthly basis. Or it could be less. You could be doing less, you could be making the esports org less money than what they're paying you either. So it could really go both ways. The biggest distinction between the two, being signed to an esports org is like the equivalent of having a job. Some orgs will sign you as a contractor. This goes into the other legality thing. This is in the US at least. But if you're a contractor, you can be terminated at any time and you do not get health insurance or benefits. If you're a contractor, you're basically like kind of like a freelancer for them. If you're signed as an employee, you get health benefits. You will have to be paid a severance if you get terminated, yada, 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 yada. So being signed to an esports org is like a job, like to be a content creator for them. To have a talent agency is just having a manager. It is not like a job. It's literally like if you had a manager or an assistant, but the assistant is instead like a agency. If you're signed to an esports org, you must be under exclusivity with them for their sponsors. So for instance, again, I'm gonna use Team Liquid as my example. TL is sponsored by Honda. So if you're assigned to Team Liquid as a content creator, you cannot work with any car brands because it will be a conflict with Team Liquid's Honda sponsor. Again, Team Liquid is they're also sponsored by HyperX, right? If you are signed to Team Liquid, you cannot work with any other of HyperX's competitors. You cannot work with any peripheral brands. If you have existing partnerships, you must drop them before you sign to the org. So let's say for me right now, right? I've got some, shenanigans going on with Elgato. I've got some deals cooking. Like Elgato's giving me stuff. If I were signed to Team Liquid as a content creator, I will have to drop Elgato. I don't have a car sponsor, so that's not an issue, but I'll have to drop Elgato. If I was sponsored by G Fuel, Team Liquid is sponsored by Monster, I will have to drop G Fuel. So you will have to drop all of your existing sponsors that are current competitors of the org's sponsors to get signed to that org. Talent agencies doesn't have that exclusivity, does not matter. When you're signed to an org, you as a creator are representing the org. Even though like as a as a creator of the agency, you do kind of represent your agency in a way, it's not like that. You're not like a creator for them. You don't like represent them. They just kind of manage you. Talent agencies do not have an exclusivity. Does not matter because it's your role for them is different. They just manage you. Whereas an org, you are representing them as a creator. Fortunately, the only real benefits I'm seeing of orgs is salary, exposure, and networking. Yes, basically. A lot of streamers I know have the misconception that being signed to an esports org is their end goal, and that is all they want. They want that monthly salary of being signed to an org. They want that representation of having that org name. They want to be able to be like, I'm 100 Thieves Caliente, or I'm like Team Liquid Caliente. They want that. I'm here to tell you guys, being signed to an esports org is not like all that. It's good, like it can bring you a lot of benefits, like I'm saying, it's like a job. Many esports orgs offer you health insurance, which you don't get as a creator naturally. You have to pay for that out of pocket, which is expensive. You get a monthly salary, it is stable, you do get that exposure and networking. I'm just saying, like, it's not the end all be all. It should not be the end goal you're chasing also, because there's more to it, right? A lot of people want to be signed for the esports org because they want that monthly salary so they can chill and make content, not have to sweat about money. I'm here to tell you, you can get a monthly salary from sponsors too. If you have enough like long-term sponsors, these long-term sponsors will literally pay you a monthly salary just to represent their brand. That is another option to get that same stability without going the esports org route. Because also the big problem with signing with an esports org is the fact that you must be exclusive to their sponsors. So if you have sponsors you like working with that you really like, that you're making good money from, you have to drop all of them to sign to the org. If you have like a good manager, they can negotiate that for you. So they'll pad that into your salary, this, that, and the other. But there's a lot of restrictions to being signed to an esports org that doesn't exist with having a talent agency. Also, you can have both, by the way. So let me explain, like you can be signed both to a talent agency and an esports org at the same time. Like it's not the same thing. The org is like a job, whereas the talent agency is like your manager. So again, like you can be the CEO of a company and still have a manager. Or you can be the CEO, you can work for a company and still have an assistant outside of that, like a virtual assistant. I don't know. It's not the same thing. So even though they on paper look like they're doing similar things, it's actually not the case. They're quite different. But yeah, so I do want to break that misconception that signing to an esports org should not be your end all be all. Or like if that's still what you want after now you know what comes with it, then fine, right? But a lot of people think it's like sunshines and rainbows, and I get the money and it's so lit and I get the clout. It's not necessarily as like amazing as you may think it is. Can you be in an org and do their sponsors but have non-conflicting sponsors through agencies? Correct, you can. So you can be signed to an esports org, have sponsors outside of the org sponsors that are non-competitors. So again, hypothetically, right, like given Team Liquid sponsors, for example, if Squishmallow, like let's say I was signed to Team Liquid, right? If Squishmallow wanted to sponsor me, that's totally fine because Team Liquid doesn't have a plushie sponsor, So that's chill. If Bath and Body Works wanted to sponsor me, again, totally fine. Team Liquid does not have like a bath product sponsor. So that's fine. But you cannot work with any competitors. And the problem is esports orgs, most of their sponsors will be things that gamers typically will be sponsored by. They'll typically have like a supplement, a gaming chair, peripherals. Bam. That is like a huge chunk of companies straight out the window. So that's the problem, right? Like for me, I actually wouldn't really want to be signed to an esports org as a content creator because it brings that problem. I do like streaming advice. I do tech. I don't want to be limited to one peripheral brand because that means that I literally cannot review any headsets, any microphones, any peripherals, any webcams besides the company that I am signed, that the org or that I work for, which is really dumb. And I don't want that. Orgs also rarely sign people that are not streamers or YouTubers. They pretty much only want streamers. Very rarely will orgs sign like YouTubers that are not streamers. They do not sign neither, pretty much. I've never heard of, well, yeah, I've pretty much never heard of an org signing people that do not stream on Twitch or make YouTube content. Now that I went over what a talent agency is, what they do, and the difference between that and an esports org, so the question is, how did I find my talent agency and did they reach out to me? So I found my talent agency because creators that I like were assigned to them. So let me pull up my agency. This is the talent agency that I am signed to. It's Nani Talent. They only sign women creators. And a lot of people had beef with that actually on TikTok, but I'll explain why it actually makes sense in a second. Some people said it was sexist. It's not. But this is my talent agency. I discovered them because a lot of creators that I watch are assigned to them. So view all, right? So for instance, right? I know Tiffy. I watch Tiffy. Kuragi, I've seen their content. Plu, I watch their content. Lux, I know who they are. Panthera spoke at my college. V Kim, Julia, Hyun, Boba Jenny, these are all goats, bro. Like I know so many of these creators. Emily, Eugene, Wreck-It Raven, Luxy Games, look, it's me, Tenzin, Jessica. I knew literally half of these creators before I was even signed to this agency. They have a goated streamer list, yes. So I knew who this agency was because of the creators that were signed to them. I know these creators, I consume their content. I've been consuming their content for years. It's a stacked lineup, okay, one. But they sign goats, and most of these people play Valorant or League. They do one of two, and I do both, right? I do both. Also, I know what is her role in the agency? She might be the founder. I think this is the founder, but Sayonani is a TikToker who does UI design, stuff like that, commissions, Etsy, opened her Etsy shop a year ago. Super amazing artwork. I love her art. But I've been following her on TikTok, and this is her talent agency. So I know the creator of the agency too. I'm a huge fangirl of her. So anyways, that's how I discovered this agency, okay? Because of all the goats that are signed to them, all the people that I love to watch their content and consume their content are signed to them. I reached out to them, and then they initially rejected me. I was like, please, I want to work with you guys. And they're like, we don't have room. And I was like, fuck. And then I waited a little bit. I reached out to them again, and I was like, hey, please. Because for me, they were my one and done. I only wanted them. If they didn't want me, I would not have a talent agency. I only wanted them to be my talent agency, to be my talent manager. And finally, they hired on additional staff, and they were like, hey, I'm actually really interested. I'm down to bring you on. And I was like, but I started reaching out when I was at maybe 250,000 followers on TikTok. So I've been signed with them for a year. I signed with them in June last year. It's been almost a year. I love them. I love this agency. They're amazing. I've always wanted to work with them. I'm so glad. I'm so happy that they're my talent agency. But that's how I got on, because I reached out to them. So I do recommend that when you are looking for talent agencies, you want to make sure the creators that are signed to them are creators like you, right? This goes into another thing. So again, people on TikTok said that this agency is sexist because they only sign women creators. But from a talent agency point of view, it makes sense. Talent agencies, the big thing they do for you is they bring you brand deals. So agencies have connections to companies, and they will use their connections to bring you deals. You want an agency that has creators like you, because then their brand relations, the companies that they have relations with, will be companies that would also be interested in sponsoring you. For an Nani Talent, right? The companies they have they have affiliations with, if they have Jessica, if they have Hyun, if they have Plu, Wasabi Cat, V Kim, Julia, they play Valorant, they play League, right? I am also an Asian female creator who plays Valorant and League. If they have relations with companies that want to sponsor these people, all of these creators, they will probably also be interested in sponsoring me because I look the same and I make the same type of content, similar content to their entire lineup of creators. You don't want to actually be signed to a creator that is too broad in the type of people they bring on, because that means that they're spread too thin. So the relationships that the agency will have with companies, most of their companies wouldn't be interested in working with you because you're too different from what they normally work with. So let's say, an example that I like to give is this agency, again, it's mainly female Valorant and League streamers. So all of Nani's relations, these companies want to sponsor female Valorant and League creators. So I fit the profile. So therefore, I will also be included in this too. If your agency is too broad, they have Valorant creators, they have cosplayer. Well, cosplayer actually fits. So let's say they have Valorant creators, they have sports creators, and they have finance creators. Bro, it's way too broad. So let's say they have relations with, I don't know, Robinhood, right? Which is a stock app, They would be interested in the finance creator, but they wouldn't be interested in the sports people. They wouldn't be interested in the gaming people. So therefore, like, you would be left out of a lot of brand deals simply because your demographic doesn't fit what they're looking for. So it makes sense from an agency point of view to niche down on the type of creators they bring on. So therefore, all of the creators can get more brand deals. It is not sexist to only like have a very specific group of people that you bring onto your agency. From an agency point of view, it makes way more sense. Think of it from the business point of view of the agency, right? When the agency is negotiating with companies, right? Let's say like Nani negotiates with Crunchyroll, and Crunchyroll is like, hey, we have this new anime coming up, this shoujo romance. We really want like female gaming creators to promote it. Well, Nani's gonna be like, our whole lineup is female gaming creators. So we have all of these people that, you know, you could definitely use for it. Makes so much more sense. Whereas the other agency I gave the example, if they were negotiating with Crunchyroll, they were like, hey, we want female gaming creators. And the other agency would be like, yeah, so we have 2 people because everyone else does sports and finance and cooking content. And when should you start looking for a talent agency? This is a hot topic. Guys, please, let me just tell you. I find that a huge misconception streamers have is they think a talent agency will solve all of their problems. Because you don't want to actually learn it yourself. You just want an agency to do it for you. But I'm gonna tell you some harsh truths that you as a creator need to hear, okay? A talent agency cannot solve the problems or fix the problems you currently have as a creator. Because you don't get sponsorships, because you don't know how to do brand deals, because you don't know how to negotiate. Those will still be problems if you have a talent agency. And okay, so let me figure out where to start with this conversation, okay? Again, many creators that I know, they're like, I don't get any brand deals. So I want an agency to fix that problem. I want the agency to bring me brand deals. You have way more problems, and the agency won't want to sign you. Agencies do not want to sign people that don't get brand deals. Why would the agency want to sign you? If you think of it from the talent agency point of view, they want to bring on successful creators. So if you don't have any brand deals, then from the agency's point of view, you're not valuable to them. Because every creator that the agency brings on, when brand deals come through, that is an opportunity for the talent agency to make their own connections also, right? Like I have a working relation with Adobe. I have a working relation with Adobe, and I've been working with them for over a year, right? So the talent agency sees value in me because I have this connection to Adobe. I don't know, but if my talent agency doesn't have a connection to Adobe, they can use me and my connection with Adobe to weasel their way in and build a connection with Adobe and then get more Adobe sponsorships for their talent too. So they can bring on Adobe as one of their partners. So each creator brings value to a talent agency based on their existing network of sponsors. If you don't have an existing network of sponsors, why would a talent agency want to bring you on? Because they can't benefit from tapping into your network because you don't have a network, because you don't get any brand deals. Now you may argue, oh, but this talent agency can then bring me partnerships and then they'll take a percentage cut and they'll get money because they take a percentage cut and I'll make money. But why would they want you? Whereas they could just find a creator that gets brand deals, that already has an existing network and would also be valuable for brand deals too. Like their existing brands will want to work with this creator. If there's creator A and creator B, creator A being valuable, brands would want to work with them, but they don't have sponsors currently, or creator B who currently has sponsors and brands want to work with them, they will always pick creator B. So talent agencies won't want to work with people who don't already have sponsors or have done sponsorship deals, like has connections. 2, you as a creator should not work with agencies if you've never done sponsorship deals because you will get taken advantage of. I love my talent agency. My talent agency is amazing. I am a huge fan of them. I recommend them to all of my friends. If any of my friends are looking for an agency, I'm like, look at my agency. If they have openings, like you should join them. They're amazing. 90% of the talent agencies out there suck and they're scammy and they will manipulate you and take advantage of you as a creator. Like 90% of them. Because it is so easy for a group of people who want to weasel their way into the esports creator space to open up a talent agency because it literally costs them no money. They just get a group of people together and they're like, all right, we want to manage creators. Okay, let's reach out to creators and try to bring them on. It costs them no money for overhead to start a talent agency. So many unqualified, scammy people start talent agencies and they just take advantage of creators. So you as a creator, if you have no knowledge of sponsorships, no knowledge of brand deals, no knowledge of how to negotiate, you will get taken advantage of due to your ignorance because you don't know these things. You don't know how to do a sponsorship deal. So you don't know when you're getting a scammy deal because you have no idea. You don't know how to negotiate. So you don't know when you're getting a bad deal or you're getting underpaid because you're ignorant and you just don't know. So your lack of knowledge in this field will make you really vulnerable to being taken advantage of by these scammy, scummy companies out there, okay? So I also hear a lot of small creators want to find talent agencies to solve their problems. You're gonna get taken advantage of, dude. Like, you're really gonna get taken advantage of. You need to do deals on your own first so you can get educated about this, so that then when you have a talent agency, an agency's job is to help you, guide you in the right direction, tell you what you're worth, etc. But you need that existing knowledge to weed out all the bad agencies from the good ones. There's a lot of scummy agencies out there and they're always popping up. Like, I could make a list of the bad ones. I can't tell you what agencies are good or bad. You're gonna have to know this for yourself. Here's the list of criteria of why you should join a talent agency, okay? 1, you should have existing sponsors. If you don't have existing sponsors, you provide no value to the agency won't want you. So you're not even gonna get it. And if they do want you, they're scammy. I'm telling you that right now. If you have like no existing sponsors, you've never done sponsorships before, and a talent agency wants you, you're gonna get scammed. That's it, because the agency has no benefit to you. The second criteria, you should not be able to handle dealing with your current sponsors. You should be getting so many sponsorship deals, negotiating so much that it should feel like a full-time job and you can't manage it on your own. Because also, here's the other thing too, right? A talent agency takes a percentage cut of every sponsorship deal. To be honest, if it's easy for you to manage your sponsorships, you should just do it yourself so you can get the full 100% of the sponsorship deals, right? I'm just telling you right now, for many of my sponsorships, I'm getting like $5,000 per sponsorship. They take 20%. What is 20% of? Like, I get 4,000. I literally lose $1,000 because I have my talent agency doing it for me. Why would I want to lose $1,000 unless, like, if I can manage it on my own, right? I personally right now cannot manage my sponsorships. I have a full-time job. I also full-time content create. Managing sponsorships is like the equivalent of a full-time job. I can't do it. I don't have enough time. So the talent agency doing this, it's worth it for me to lose that $1,000 so that I would still make $4,000, because I would never have gotten this deal in the first place because I didn't have the time to manage it. You only should have or like look for an agency if you cannot currently handle the amount of sponsors you're getting, just from your point of view, so that you don't lose the money. Somewhat knowledgeable, etc., about rates, things like that. And you should already, in my opinion, somewhat successful of a creator. That mainly relates back to like having existing sponsors. Like, there's no really like size for this. I'm not gonna be like, once you're at like 100,000 followers, that's where you should start looking. No, it's not like a how many followers. It is more so how many brand deals do you have? Like, can you manage your current brand deals? Yes or no? If you cannot because you have too many, probably a good time. This number 2 would be the biggest criteria as to why you should look for a talent agency. If you don't meet this criteria, you should not look for a talent agency. Like, so what are talent agency scams? Won't do a trial run. The reason why I know all of these, by the way, I have talked to many talent agencies, many. Because I've had people reach out to me, I've reached out to them, we've hopped on a call, and I'm like, yo, this is big red flags. Some of them had presented me with a contract. I just never signed it. But they gave me a contract. I almost signed it, and I was like, something feels off. I don't feel good about this. Many of these talent agencies will sign you to a 1-year contract. Every talent agency that I reach out to, I ask them for a trial run. Why wouldn't they, right? For Nani, I got a 3-month trial run. Obviously, I liked it, so, you know, we're good to go. But takes content creator earnings. This is a humongous red flag, by the way. This one's the big red flag. Talent agencies should never touch your content creator earnings. They should not touch your Twitch earnings. They should not touch your YouTube earnings, your TikTok earnings, whatever. They should only take a percentage of your sponsorship deals. That is it. That is a humongous red flag. Never sign to them if that is in their contract. No, big no. Talent agencies should never touch deals they had no work for, right? So what I mean by this is, if they did not negotiate it, if they did not handle the invoicing, payments, whatever, they should not take any money from this. Some agencies I've talked to, I was like, hey, I have my existing sponsors. I will still do sponsorships for them. What if you guys don't do anything? Like, I literally managed to start to finish. You didn't even know I had this deal until afterwards, or you saw me post it. Some agencies were like, yeah, we still take it. We take a percentage of everything, even if we did nothing. And I was like, I'm leaving. They should not take money for like a percentage out of deals that they had no affiliation with, okay? 4, I said that talent agencies take a percentage, right? 30% is no. 20% is the industry standard. 30% is stupidly high. They should not be taking 30%. You did not do enough work to take 30%. Nope. That is big no-no, big red flag. Access to your email or socials. They should not have either. There was a talent agency that I almost signed to. I literally almost signed to them. I was negotiating with them. I forgot which agency now, but I was literally negotiating, I almost signed to them. And then they were like, yeah, so you need to give us your the email, like, sorry, the password and login for your email. And I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, because we manage you. Like, we read all of your, because that's how they manage, right? They read all of the emails. They sort through the good sponsorships and the bad sponsorships. And then they, negotiate and stuff like that. The one that I almost signed to, they were like, yeah, so we need access to your email. I was like, what? No, you're not getting that. What talent agencies should do is make you a separate email account, like a brand new email account. And then in that brand new email account, then they have access to it. They can look at it. So with my talent agency, Nani Talent, they gave me 2 options. They were like, here, we will make you a brand new email with our handle at nani.gg. You either can, 1, choose to like have access to this email too. So you see every single email that comes through. And then we also like will look at the email too, because obviously they need to reply. The other option for Nani Talent was they were like, we will make this a separate email, but you just don't have access to it. Like some creators just don't care, They were just like, we don't want to do any work. Tell me what to do. I will make the video and then that's it. I like being hands-on, so I did want to know. I did want to see. So yeah, they should never have access to your email or socials. Oh yeah, Santi, that's a good point. I'll talk about that in a sec. But there should be a cancellation clause, by the way. In the contract, there should be a cancellation clause. You'll be surprised at some of the contracts I've seen and there was no cancellation clause in it. I was like, what if I want to terminate? And they were like, yeah, no. We just get a percentage of the deals for the whole year. I've seen some effed up contracts, guys. The audacity of some of these companies.